Don't worry, I've not trodden this path so much and so frequently that I've worn it away. This is Wrenner Heath. Personally, I think one of Nottinghamshire's best heathland sites. The sides of this cutting, where I'm sat here now on Wrenner Heath, provides the perfect example to show just how shallow the soil is on heathland. All of Nottinghamshire's heathland is on very dry, Sherwood sandstone soils, and the actual thickness of the soil layer itself of the topsoil is little more than 2 inches. In some places it's definitely less, depending on the amount of weathering. Underneath this top layer of sandy soil is a layer of pebbles. Here you're looking between 4 and 6 inches of a very pebbly substrate, and then below that you start to get into larger pebbles, and then soon very quickly come to the layer of sandstone. And in parts of this here, the sandstone has been exposed. It all goes to help create a quite unique and important habitat. Nottinghamshire is very lucky, and it has got so much heathland left. Other in Midland counties haven't been so fortunate. And if I cross over from where I was just filming, you can see equally just how well layered this substrate is. Your 2 inches topsoil there, your 4 to 6 inches of gravel and pebbles, and this is just pure soft sandstone. Sherwood sandstone, no less. So what brings me, you're all asking yourself inquisitively, to Wrenner Heath today? Well, to be honest, I was actually just passing, just going on the bypass, and then I thought I'll pop in here because it's a while since I've been, last autumn to be honest, and I'd like to make yet another attempt to find one of Nottinghamshire's rarest ladybirds. It's the Hieroglyphic Ladybird, a relatively small species, little larger than the familiar two-spot ladybird, which many of you will no doubt have seen. It lives down there, which is easy to get to for me. It's coming back here for you, that's the problem. And that's where I'm heading, where the twin pylons are, the wooden poles. There's the dark area of heather there. That is a boggy area of heathland, and that's the home, based on the records that we have of the Hieroglyphic Ladybird. It's proved incredibly elusive. So first things first, getting over there. My instrument of choice today is the faithful beating train, which is probably, as soon as I open it up with it being rather breezy today, will make me look like a human equivalent to the Cutty Sark. This is not my only method of surveying. I'm trying to find this little elusive species. Visual searching trunks of trees here, and there's some small pine scrub as well, which Hieroglyphic Ladybird may well be tucked in. It's very much a long shot this, say the species hasn't been seen here for 6 or 7 years. Let's hope it's not 8 after today. And this is the boggy habitat that makes Wrenner Heath so potentially interesting. It's not extensive, unfortunately, but it's the only bit of heathland, apart from a small area on Budby South Forest, that's like this in Nottinghamshire. Full of sphagnum moss, holds water throughout the year, obviously varies depending on the time of year and how wet it is, but it's a great piece of almost moorland habitat. Ought to devote more time to coming here really, but can't be everywhere I suppose. But this does hold some interesting inverts, most noticeably the one I can't find, Hieroglyphic Ladybird. Well, can't find so far, but a fabulous piece and quite unique bit of habitat in the county. Well, no matter what technique I've used, it's rather unsurprisingly, I suppose, failed to turn it up yet. I don't think we're quite warm enough yet. The temperatures are climbing, so I don't think it'll be too long. But this is obviously here in very low numbers. It wouldn't be so bad if I had an inclination of exactly where it overwintered. I suspect that it's probably deep within the mosses and the drier grass here. There's so many grass tussocks that seems to me to be the most likely situation where hieroglyphic ladybirds would overwinter. We need a nice warm day, that first sort of warm spring day when ladybirds and everything else really start to become active, or things sit and bask in the sun and warm up on those first warm days of the year. I'm convinced that it's still here, hieroglyphic ladybird. I'm also convinced it'll take a few more attempts to find it. The reason why I'd like to find it so much is I'd like to see the red form with the hieroglyphic type markings on it. It is a very variable species, as I already mentioned earlier in the video, and the only two specimens that Dillis and myself found a number of years ago were, well, one that was completely black and the other one was as good as completely black. Not exactly sparkling individuals, but at least I know it's here. This has got to be the site to look for the hieroglyphic ladybird, as it's the only known site and the last known site for this rare ladybird in Nottinghamshire.